They are known as a flying fortress, a tank in the sky, a war bird unlike anything ever built at the time. They could sustain serious damage and still come home. My grandfather was just 20 years old when he was a bombardier in a B-17 he named Sugarbox after my grandmother. The two just married when he left for the war, but his plane never came home.
He was a bombardier in a B-17, so he sat at the very front of the plane, and on his 23rd mission he was shot down, and only 5 of the 10 made it out alive. He was one of the 5.
He survived a German prison camp for nearly 3 years, was rescued by Patton's troops when the war was over, and eventually came home to Kentucky, where my dad was born years later. But it would be more than 70 years later when his son and his granddaughter got to take a ride for ourselves.
Oh my God!
Of these historic planes, only 12 of the 12,000 that were made are still flying today, keeping those stories alive.
There I am at 19. 19 was my lucky ring. And it still had hair.
Sergeant James Lee Hutchinson, known as Hutch, a veteran from Bedford, Indiana, he flew in a B-17 too. He's one of just a couple thousand World War II veterans still living. He sees these trips as a final mission.
It's a mission. It just tells the story of the few remaining guys. Like this fellow here is 93, I'm 89. We're going. And the stories, I'm afraid the stories will go.
My grandfather, John Kirkpatrick, died in 1996. He never talked a lot about what happened during his time in the war, but some veterans will see this plane and open up, leaving their stories forever living on.
I'm thinking of my dad, how it must have felt being 20 or 21 years old in the front of a B-17 with Messerschmitts and others firing at you, 40 degrees below zero on oxygen, trying to drop bombs on military ball bearing plants. I just can't imagine.
And what an experience for a dad and a daughter and a grandfather who was there too. Kelsey Starks, WHAS 11 News.